just tried to film this video and my mic wasn't on. Are you fucking on this time? Thank you. Hi. I'm gonna take my mirror down because it's distracting. I hope you can see my ass. Hey, what's good? What's good? Alright, so today we're going to be talking about femininity and womanhood and what that means, but more specifically, being anti-femininity, rejecting femininity, and the cool girl trope, or the girl who is not like most girls. Alright, so if you've seen literally any video about this topic, then you know that I'm going to bring up the Gone Girl monologue. If you've ever seen the movie Gone Girl, there's a monologue in the beginning of the film where the lead character is talking about how when she was dating her husband, she was the cool girl, you know? She was, actually, I'm just gonna read the monologue so it can speak for itself. Men always say that as a defining compliment, don't they? She's a cool girl. Being the cool girl means I am a hot, brilliant, funny woman who adores football, poker, dirty jokes, and burping, who plays video games, drinks beer, loves threesomes and anal sex, and jams hot dogs and hamburgers into her mouth like she's hosting the world's biggest culinary gangbang while somehow maintaining a size 2. Because cool girls are above all hot. Hot and understanding. Cool girls never get angry. They only smile in a chagrined, loving manner and let their men do whatever they want. Go ahead, shit on me. I don't mind. I'm the cool girl. Yeah, so basically she summed that up perfectly. That's what the cool girl is. Someone who loves hot dogs and video games and football, but is also super thin and hot and beautiful and doesn't care about, things that make her emotional. Like, and it's such a fucking weird, trope to me because it is made by men for men, yet plenty of women try to make themselves the cool girl, including myself. I went through a phase when I was younger where I wanted to be the cool girl. I wanted to seem like I didn't care and that, I could be like one of the guys, but I'm also super hot and desirable. Even though women didn't create this trope at all, we want to be this so badly, but it's because we see this in the media and we think this is what men want. This is how we have to be to make men attracted to us. And I don't think that's the answer. I wonder, alright, so who are these men creating this cool girl trope? Because essentially what they want is a man in a woman's body. They want all the benefits of hanging out with their guy friends, with their fucking homies, but you also are beautiful and hot and you can fuck her. A man who wants a woman who is exactly like a guy sounds fucking gay to me. Oh, I want a girl who plays 2K and wears sweatpants and eats junk food. It's you just described your homie Tommy over there. And it's if you want to say Tommy, that's fucking great. Do you, sis? Fucking love wins, man. This whole trope is so common that it's completely natural for girls, especially young girls, to think that this is how they have to be because it's so common in media that, when you don't know who you are and you're young, you are so heavily influenced by media and you look to these movies and you pick up these cues and you think this is how I'm supposed to act because this is what men like, or so you think. There's so many movies that are like this. I mean, we've got Gone Girl, we've got Transformers, Megan Fox's character, who's super hot but also knows how to fix cars and shit. That's mind-blowing. So hot, apparently. Then there's a movie called There's Something About Mary with Cameron Diaz and Ben Stiller, and I think that I think that movie depicts this trope perfectly, to a fucking T. Mary is beautiful, she's smart, she's funny, she's caring and understanding, but she also likes to play golf and likes to eat hamburgers and corn dogs, but she's also a doctor, which doesn't really make any sense when you think about it. It's a doctor wouldn't love fast food so much, but you know what, it's fine. But she's also like super thin and hot again, and she likes spontaneity and all these things, and like all these things are great. If you like golf and you like eating burgers and camping or whatever, that is great. In fact, I love those things too, except for golf, because I find it very boring. I don't really like sports in general, and if I'm eating a hamburger, it's gotta be vegetarian, but that's besides the point. My point is, you can like all these things and, you know, be all these things, but that itself doesn't make you cool. Just because you like football, it doesn't make you cool. What makes you cool is being who you are. It's funny because it's just so opposite when you think about it. Like, the more you try to be cool, the less cool you are. The more unapologetic you are about who you are, the more cool that you come off, you know? If you've ever been, like, in that place, I don't blame you, because I've been there. Like, in high school, I used to just reject my femininity so fucking much. I never wore dresses or skirts. I never really wore pink. Like, the most feminine I got with my appearance was, like, wearing makeup. And I just, for some reason, thought that the more, like, laid back and chill and, like, low-key, like, frumpy I looked, the more, like, cool I would seem as a person. And that would also attract guys, which it, like, really didn't. It's like, it's weird. You think that being one of the guys is gonna make the guys like you, and maybe that'll happen. Maybe they'll like you, but maybe not for the reasons that you want. Like, they're probably just gonna see you as, like, one of the guys, but it's like, oh, I wouldn't, like, date her because she's, like, one of the guys, you know? And I think a part of me felt that being feminine meant that I was weak, which is so sad, and I don't know why I ever let that belief, like, just, like, live inside of me, but it did, like, and I don't think I ever admitted it, but I felt like by not being feminine, that, like, made me stand out and made me different, made me not like other girls, and I felt like being feminine and girly made me weak and less interesting, when it so fucking doesn't at all. Then once I got into college, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start being a girl. I wanted to embrace my femininity, and it's like, you know what? I'm in college now, like, I'm a woman, I'm growing up, like, I want to really just, like, be a woman and own that and accept and embrace that. And once I started doing that, like, my confidence went up so much more, and I felt so, like, at home in myself and my body, and it also, like, made me more attractive to guys, like, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, I didn't really think about it until recently, but I think the more that I embraced my femininity, the easier it got to, like, attract guys. And not that that is, like, my goal at all. I was so not thinking about men when I was, you know, trying to embrace my femininity, but I did notice that I felt like my confidence with guys and attracting guys just got so much better. And I don't think I was being disingenuous to who I was back when I was, like, only wearing, like, jeans and sweatpants and shit like that. I think I was being myself, but I was purposefully blocking off this aspect of my life that I really didn't need to. Like, I wasn't even willing to try. I was just like, nope, I'm not girly, I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff because I'm this. But it's like, you can be all of those things. I still dress, like, super tomboyish sometimes when I want to, but I'm so comfortable with dressing femininely. I'm so comfortable with, like, looking like a woman that it's like, I don't want to stop, you know? Once you realize how incredible that divine feminine energy that you possess is, like, you will be so fucking content with who you are, and so okay, and not just okay, but just, like, happy with your femininity and your womanhood. We shouldn't be trying to be a certain way just to be attractive to guys. Like, who fucking cares? And it's like, men are gonna be attracted to us regardless of how we act or what we like, you know? Like, men are very simple, okay? Also just want to get into the whole, like, being so cool that you let people walk all over you. People think that being a cool girl means that you just go with whatever, and, like, you don't care if he calls you or texts you and only hits you up at 10 p.m. and he's drunk. Like, that doesn't make you cool. That just makes you spineless. Not standing up for yourself, whether it's to a woman or to a man, does not make you cool. Like, you can be chill and go with the flow and down to earth, because I feel like I am those things, but I also know how to stand up for myself. I also have a fucking spine, and I know when I need to say something, and if you don't do that, that doesn't make you cool. That just makes you weak. And I think it's interesting that this trope that is allegedly so attractive to men is also something that makes you weak. I wonder, like, who are these men who made up this trope of being the cool girl? When you look at the film, there's something about Mary. The protagonist is literally like this nerdy guy, or he was in high school. He was this nerdy guy who wore braces and was super awkward and didn't know how to talk to anyone. Then Mary comes along, and then she's like, oh, like, you're so sweet, I'm gonna take you to prom because I'm just so selfless and I don't care about looks, I just care about the person. Then he, like, grows up and he's like, oh, I need to find her. And it's like, this is the kind of guy who wants the cool girl. The guy who doesn't know how to talk to girls and is too shy and nerdy to treat women as people and relate to them. And of course, this type of guy made something about Mary and created this cool girl fantasy that does not exist. I'm like, is this movie for real? Like, are they actually for real, or are they just making fun of people who like this kind of woman and like want this kind of woman? But I don't think it is. I think they really just mean it. And it's just like, it's so fucking stupid. Like, the movie is funny, but there's also a lot of problems with it. Like, there's literally like a scene where they're spying on her changing, and it's just like so gross and voyeuristic, and it's like, it's so obvious who made this movie and who they made this movie for. But you know what, that's just how it is. And yeah, I think it's interesting that the cool girl to me is weak. It's like also what is seen as ideal for men. So it's like the ideal woman to a man is a weak woman. And obviously not for all men. Like, if you're like confident and secure and whatnot, you're not going to want a weak woman. But if you're a weak man, you're going to want a weak woman, and you're going to display it under this veil of the cool girl. Like, you're going to make it seem like, oh yeah, she's cool, this is what men want, when in reality it's just like, you're just a pussy. Throughout my life, it's funny because I wanted to be this cool girl and blah blah blah, and then once I stopped caring, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like people started to see me as cool. Like, I've actually had guys say to me like, oh, like, you're really cool, or like, oh, like, most girls don't do that or like that. And I'm always like, yeah, shut the fuck up. You don't need to bring down other girls to compliment me. But there have been times where, like, I remember once I was hanging out with this guy, and we were like sitting outside, and I think like an ant crawled on me or something, and he's like, oh, there's a bug on you. And I was like, oh, okay, it's fine, like, he's not bothering anyone, I'm not gonna like do anything about it. And he was like, oh wow, I'm surprised, like, most girls would freak out by that. And it's like, no, it's not most girls, it's just girls who don't spend time outside, probably. Once I was talking to this guy, and we brought up Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and I was like, oh yeah, I love Monty Python, especially the Holy Grail, like, that movie has such a soft spot for me. And he's like, wow, like, most girls don't like that movie. And it's just like, are you sure? Like, it's just the girls that you talk to, it's not most girls, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, there are obviously things that men like and things that women like, traditional. I'm a cool girl not because of like liking dirty jokes and football, but I'm just a cool girl because I'm a cool person who happens to be a girl, you know? So you can be the cool girl but not have to like pretend to be someone you're not. I'm always gonna be like other girls because I am one, and that's great. Like, yeah, I'm fully like other girls, and I love it and I embrace it because I am a girl and I wouldn't want to like be anything else. But it's also like, how can you not be like most girls? Like, every girl is so different, every woman is so different that it, like, the phrase to me just doesn't make sense. 'Cause, like, we all have similarities, but we're all so different at the same time that it's like, I am like other girls, but I'm also not like other girls at the same time, because I'm me. I'm not like everybody else. I'm me. Does that make sense? And if you're like trying to explore your femininity, I would suggest just like talking to other women in your family or your friends and watching movies made by women. Jennifer's Body is a great fucking movie that is made by women for women, although it was marketed for men, which is why the movie flopped when it first came out. Or like try dressing up a little, try, you know, like wearing a dress once in a while, you know, like even if that's not your vibe, even if you're not comfortable in dresses, just try it, just to see, maybe you'll change your mind, because it does feel really good just like wearing dresses and heels and stuff. Like I never wore dresses and skirts or heels ever. Like I hated that shit before, and now like fucking look at me. I'm wearing pink, I'm wearing a skirt, and I'm wearing heels. Like me a couple years ago could fucking never. Why was I not dressing like this before? Like I look fucking great, okay? I can't tell if I'm in frame right now. At the end of the day, this all just comes down to internalized misogyny. Like the fact that we've managed to allow men to infiltrate our minds and brainwash us into thinking that we have to be a certain way to be attractive is ridiculous. The fact that we've let men make us believe that being feminine is weak is just crazy to me. And I'm not saying all girls feel this way. Like there are some girls out there who just like never thought about this or cared, which, you know, good for you. But a lot of girls have let internalized misogyny dictate how they act and what they like, and it's just fucking crazy that we've allowed men to make us reject our own femininity and reject who we are, because it's not necessary. And I think men should embrace their femininity, and I also think that women should embrace their masculinity. Like, we all just need balance here. We just need to be in touch with these sides of ourselves and embrace them and not be afraid to display that. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. If you like this video, you know what to do. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. I'm very interested to see what you guys think, like the women out there who are watching this video, and I'm also interested to hear what men have to think. What do you guys think of the cool girl trope? Is this what you want in a woman? What makes a girl cool? I don't know, just like sound off, man. Tell me your thoughts. Okay, see you in the next video. Happy Halloween.